I'm not doing this to me. Hello and welcome to Talking and Handshake's Classic Review Series. Joker, you can't mess with me. I know what I'm doing. I'm Shane Price, joined by Jenkins Wider once again to cover WCW Starrcade 1990 Collision Course.
Yep. So this took place on December 16th, 1990 in front of 7,200 people in the Kiel Auditorium in St. Louis, Missouri. Jim Ross and Paul E. Dangerously were on the call. This show runs about 2 hours and 50 minutes. So why are we reviewing this show, Shane?
Because it's in St. Louis, and it was happened 30-some years ago.
35 years ago. Also, the Sting Black Scorpion main event thing is kind of an iconic WCW moment.
Yeah.
So, little fun facts. This is the final Starrcade under the NWA name. Starrcade 91 would be just WCW. And this is the last televised wrestling event from the Kiel Auditorium in St. Louis.
Really?
Yep. It would be torn down in 91. WCW would run a couple house shows there early in 91, but this was the last actual televised event. So do you want to get into the matches?
All right, yeah. Let's get into the matches of this show. We're going to start with the first match of the night, obviously. Bob Eaton and the Z-Man, Tom Zhang, who we've seen far too often on our shows.
Okay, so to set the table here, I love this era of WCW, NWA, even though I know it's mostly mid to crap, but I just love this.
You keep trying to show us it, and
Yeah.
every time you do, it's been like mid at best. As you said,
Yeah, I've said that
Well,
before.
it's been entertaining.
It's always entertaining. That's
Minus
what's
the
fun.
Z-Man part, yeah.
But this was so Shane doesn't like this era necessarily. I love it. So I'll probably have higher ratings on most of these matches. This was Bobby Eaton's first one-on-one pay-per-view match.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Are you serious?
Yep.
What a waste.
And Bobby Eaton does a flying leg drop, which basically makes him the Ricochet of 1990. It's the most high-flying you're going to see in 1990.
At least in WCW for sure.
Yeah. Z-Man does attempts a flying dropkick at one point, so this is the
This is
WCW
practically
equivalent.
Lucha Libre,
This is
yeah.
Ricochet Osprey, basically, in WCW in 90. That's our recast.
Recast Tom Zhang.
This was just a mid-match. I gave it 2.5.
Give it 2.
Just a whatever opener.
And then we get to the tournament quarterfinals. I'm gonna run through the entire tournament bracket here so we can know who's in it. Is this for the tag titles?
No,
or
so this is the Pat O'Connor International Tag Team Tournament. 8 teams representing 8 countries. If you don't know, Pat O'Connor was a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion
O'Connor roll.
Yeah, the O'Connor role, and he was the booker of the Kansas City territory for a time. He passed away in August of 1990. That's why they did this at this Starrcade. And he was from New Zealand, by the way. So when you read those countries, when New Zealand sticks out, that's why they got a representative. Pat O'Connor was from New Zealand. So go ahead.
Steiner Brothers representing the United States of America. Colonel DeKirk and
Sergeant Kruger.
Sergeant Kruger.
They're representing South Africa.
Can you tell me who his wrestlers are?
One of them is Rocco Rock, who is from New Jersey.
The other is Doink.
And the other would be Doink the Clown from 1993 to 1995. And then again, this is the Doink the Clown from the gimmick Battle Royal. Fun fact, also from New Jersey. So both members of South Africa's team are from New Jersey.
Damn. Are they getting racist up there in New Jersey or something? Damn.
Well, that fits South Africa's history. So. Next, the next 2 teams here.
Conan and Rey Mysterio Sr. representing the Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
General Chris Adams and Norman Smiley representing the United Kingdom.
I did not know Norman Smiley was British until I watched this. I had no idea. I don't think I've ever listened to him speak, so I just never noticed.
He has a very nice British accent. He's a very posh man.
Very posh British accent. Yep.
Representing the Soviet Union, Viktor Zangief and Hashimikov.
Yeah, Salman Hashimikov, the most Soviet-looking men of all time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Not Russian-looking, Soviet-looking.
Yes.
Representing the
Canadian team.
Canadians, it is
Bull-
Troy Montour and Danny Johnson.
Yeah, he was billed as Bull Johnson on the show. Yeah.
Neither of who have Wikipedia articles. I don't even know if they have cage match articles.
Yeah.
They do okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first match.
Oh, you skipped 2 teams. You skipped the Japan and New Zealand.
So the Japan team, Mr. Saito and Great Muta.
Mm-hmm.
And the New Zealand team, Rip Morgan, who is New Zealand, who is a Kiwi. And Jack Victory, who is
also from New Jersey.
Shut the fuck up. Dude, God.
There are 3 guys from New Jersey representing other countries.
Why is he on the South African team?
I don't know.
I love WCW so fucking much. New Jersey is the peak of globalism right now.
Yeah. All right, so into the first match of the tournament.
First match tournament, the quarterfinal number 1 is the Steiner brothers against the New Jerseyans.
Yep.
So for a guy who was a tag team specialist later on in his career, Rock kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm. This was a really quick match, but it wasn't terrible. I gave it 2 stars.
It was Steiner brothers beating Steiner brothers. I gave it 2 as well.
Yeah.
Then we get Rey Mysterio and Conan against the British team of Noah Smiley and Chris Adams.
So this is Rey Mysterio Sr. If you watch the pay-per-view, he's the one in the black and brown get-up. And Conan was still under a mask at this time.
Yeah,
he was wearing the white get-up.
Very early Conan. Because he drops in and goes to WWE, I think.
Does he?
Yeah.
Wait, when would that be? Like
95.
95? Okay. So, yeah, this is masked Conan. Pee Wee Anderson cannot keep these guys in order. I mean, I know I've had a lot of complaints about Pee Wee Anderson in the past, but he was having a rough time.
Is he the worst ref of all time?
Probably, yeah. This one was actually pretty awesome.
But look who's in it, dude.
Yeah, this match kind of ruled.
Oh, Rey Mysterio Sr., he's the reason why his junior's so good, and the reason why his son is pretty good as well.
And the reason why his great nephew is Intercontinental Champion right now.
Yes.
And kind of a fun tie-in here, Dominic wore a Rey Mysterio Sr. mask to WrestleMania. So
that's true. Conan, up until I want to say like 2000 was a pretty good in-ring guy.
Up until TNA formed.
Yeah. Up until TNA happened, Conan was pretty good in the ring.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then Norman Smiley, a legend.
Is legitimately one of the great.
Your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler is Norman Smiley.
I'd hope so.
Chris Adams was also pretty great.
Chris Adams, vehemently underrated. Go watch that Dark Side of the Ring episode about him. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Yeah, he did unfortunately pass pretty young. This one was short again, but like I said, actually pretty awesome. I give this 3 3/4.
I gave it 3.
Yeah, I was really in on this one.
And then Mr. Saito, who we want, it's a dream review of ours, is to review his 2.5-hour Island Death match.
I wrote in my notes, we have to talk about the Island Death match between Mr. Saito and Antonio Inoki.
2.5 hours long. It's against Inoki. It is.
So they go to an island in Japan, right? And it's just a death match on an island. It's exactly what it sounds like.
The best part is they did it. New Japan thought that video was so good, they brought it back. Tiger Jeet Singh Hiroshi Hase did the same exact match on the island.
Okay. New Japan guys, right now, who do you want to see in an island death match?
El Despy and literally anybody else. I just want to see him do it back.
Gabe Kidd.
Back. Oh,
Despy and Gabe Kidd.
Or so good.
Gabe Kidd Ishii 3 island death match.
Only way you can contain him.
But because that's been a strong feud, that one's on Alcatraz Island.
Dude, imagine going to every jail cell and beat each other up, dude.
Dude,
that'd be so good.
So that is Antonio Inoki, legendary wrestler, Mr. Saito, inventor of the Saito suplex, and so yeah, that's insane that happened, and I want to watch it so bad.
No, it seems like it's so fun. They beat the royal family of Rip Morgan and a guy who is so royal, he was born in Atlantic City.
Yep. This was a pretty fun match. Muta rules.
Jack Victory, honestly, kind of underrated all
time. Yeah, Victory and Morgan, not terrible.
Because, Victory, he lasts forever.
Yeah,
he's in the ECW.
I was like, he was just in the ECW review we did a couple weeks ago,
which
is like 8 years after this. I gave this 3 stars.
I gave it 2.5.
Okay.
And then we get to the Canadians against the Soviets. Yep. The Soviet guys, Zangief and Hashimoto, they win.
I love that the Soviets have their own pin style. Did you notice that? They had it's like more of like a traditional like Greco-Roman wrestling pin. Ultimately, this match was kind of bad.
Well, they're both freestyle wrestlers, so it's not like it reminds me of how every wrestler nowadays pins the same.
Mm-hmm.
But Senka Akatsuki of Marvelous women's wrestling. She shoot pins.
Yeah.
She holds you down like you're not getting up.
I give us 1 3/4.
I gave it 1.
Yeah, we're pretty much. Yeah, you're. That's gonna be a theme. I'm gonna be about a star ahead.
Yeah,
half a star to a full
most
star ahead
likely,
most of the time.
The next match is Michael Wall Street against Terry Taylor.
So Michael Wall Street is IRS, by the
And
way.
Terry
That's Mike
Taylor is
Rotundo.
the Red Rooster.
Yes. Predicting a match time and then having a running clock from that time.
God.
Incredible gimmick.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do love that, yeah.
They predicted that Michael Wall Street would win. Him and Alexander York predicted that he would win in less than 8 minutes and 32 seconds. So they had an 8:32 start on the TV, and it came true. He won in like 6 minutes something.
I actually would love to see us getting brought back.
Do you have the time on this one?
I have Wikipedia up, so I do 5:32.
32. Okay, so it's
6:52.
6:52.
Yep.
Okay, so
under 8:32.
yeah. So yeah, that ultimately was a pretty whatever match. Though I give it 2 1/4.
That was the best part of the match. Was the
This is the running clock. Yeah.
So I gave us 2. But
Yeah.
honestly, that running clock was such a good. I haven't seen before. I loved it, and I think they should bring it back.
Mhm.
Imagine like this new Braun Breaker pulls this out next week. Like, I'm gonna beat this guy in under 6 minutes 14 seconds, and he does it.
Yeah, Gable could do it. I think too.
Yeah,
would
true,
be a
yeah.
fun one.
Yeah.
Or like the New Day doing it. I think would be fun
New
in a
Day doing
heelish
it,
way.
New Day doing it. Max Caster does it, but he loses
Every time.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna win in under 7 minutes and 12 seconds, and then he loses in 2 minutes.
That would be so good, wouldn't it?
That would be.
The next match, I think if I spend more time talking about it, then it will take longer than the match did.
Mm-hmm.
The Skyscrapers against Big Cat and the Motor City Madman.
Yeah, Big Cat is Mr. Hughes.
Yes,
Mercy
Mr.
Madman
Hughes,
is does not matter.
No, he does not. No.
The Skyscrapers are Dan Spivey and Sid Vicious. Did this really have to be on the pay-per-view?
No.
Could we have given this the 3 minutes, including entrances and stuff? Could we have given this to another match in like the tournament or something?
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah. I give it 1 star.
I gave it done.
Done?
It was a minute. I don't know what else am I supposed to rate in a minute.
It's true.
The selling of a team? I don't know.
Yep. Next match, we got the tag match here.
Maybe the best tag team lineup of the night, at least.
Best on paper, yeah. I don't know the best overall performance, but it might be. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean that main event, the finals of Pat O'Connor's are pretty great.
Yeah, but like just like an idea of like the lineup on the paper.
Yeah,
I feel like probably that's one right
I do like this one quite a bit. Yeah,
This, Ty Rich and Ricky Morton.
Because
Man,
Robert Gibson was injured.
Yeah, man, Robert Gibson take on the Freebirds of Hayes and Garvin with Little Richard Marley.
Yeah. We do need to address here the Freebirds were wearing Confederate flag face paint and big Confederate flag robes.
And they were being managed by a black man.
Yes. So probably couldn't. And they turn on the black manager at the end of the match too, don't
I
they?
think they do.
Yeah. Probably couldn't do that in 2025.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can get away with that.
No.
Positives of this match: Ricky Morton has incredible punches. I noticed there as well. It was
obviously,
like looks like he was hammering the shit out of Hayes and Garvin. This is another short match with a bit of shenanigans. I didn't think it was ultimately that bad. I gave it 2 3/4,
I give it 2.
ignoring the Confederate face paint.
2 1/4. I would have given based on including the face paint, maybe 1.
Yeah, I included the face paint. It might be like half a star. I do want to mention the interview between these because there were some interviews throughout the night. None of them with Shivani. None of them super important, but this one was Stan Hansen just covered in chews.
Oh, God.
Just in chew, dude.
Can we get instead of watching another one of these early WCW stuff, can we just watch a bunch of old Stan Hansen
Just a
promos?
super cut of Stan Hansen promos where there's just tobacco spilling out of him, just all down his chest.
I think of that Missy Hyatt promo all the time.
Dude, it's so funny. The Missy Hyatt, what was that? Wrestle War 91.
I think so, yeah.
That was the next pay-per-view after this.
Oh my God!
Was Wrestle War 91.
He's on a fucking roll.
Yeah. So go find that show and just watch his interview with Missy Hyatt because it is insane how much chew is spilling down that man's torso.
It's like dripping and there's
Yeah.
a bunch of falling out.
It's so gross.
If he didn't die of mouth cancer, I'm shocked he's still alive.
Yeah. Back to Pat O'Connor.
The Steiner brothers take on the Mexican team. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you're right.
Steiner brothers take on the domestic team of Rey Mysterio Sr. and Conan in another pretty good match.
Yeah, solid match. Nothing incredibly special. Obviously short on time because this is a 14-match card,
Yeah,
guys.
there's a lot
but
on here.
it didn't even go 3 hours. So a lot of these matches are pretty short.
Yeah.
I still give this one 3 stars.
I gave it 2 and 2 3/4.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
And then we get to the other semifinal. This is Mr. Saito against the Great Muta.
Mr. Saito and Great
with
Muta against
the Soviets.
Yep.
Oh, this one was the worst semifinal, obviously.
These are the worst of the
I
tournament.
think not the worst tournament. No, the worst semifinal. So
Worst semifinal out of the 2 semifinals. Yeah, definitely. I gave this one 2 1/4. It was just a little bad.
2. I
Yeah.
wouldn't give it 1 3/4. 1.
No, I want to
less than
drop
2.
to the ones.
Just
for
because I don't
sure.
want to give Muta less than a 2 ever.
Yeah.
That's part
Listen,
of it.
Muta and Saito are good. The Soviets have a I
Yeah,
would have loved to see these two in Bloodsport.
Yeah, the Soviets. I think they didn't tell the Soviets that wrestling was fake.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. If these guys were born 35 years later and were in Bloodsport, it would be awesome.
It's that big Georgian dude. in
Yeah,
Bloodsport.
you just put them together and it's the big Georgian dude from Bloodsport. Yeah.
Then we get a Texas Lariat match for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The
Yep.
champions Stan Hansen and Lex Luger.
Yeah. I did not expect Stan Hansen to try to hang Lex Luger on a 1990 WCW show.
Well, he sure did.
I didn't know WCW got down like this back then. You know what I mean?
I mean,
This was pretty hardcore for
Yeah.
WCW standards. Of course, Pee Wee Anderson didn't see Luger touch the 4th corner. At first, he redeems himself because the finish is that there's another referee to see Stan Hansen touch all 4 corners. But Pee Wee did see Luger, even though he got knocked over. He saw Luger hit the 4th corner. He just was knocked down, so he couldn't call it. I loved that drama of that, and I also just loved more time of Stan and Lex Luger wrestling each other.
Yes.
This was a pretty great match. Like I said, pretty hardcore for 1990.
Yeah.
I gave this 4 stars.
I was pretty close to before. I gave it 3 3/4.
Okay.
The only thing that I think I walked in expecting this to be a finisher match, it wasn't.
Mm.
So I was a little disappointed.
Yeah. Next match, the tag titles.
The street fight. Doom and Butch Reed against
Ron Simmons and
Ron
Butch Reed.
Simmons, Butch Reed.
Doom.
With Teddy Long,
Mhm.
take on Arn Anderson and Barry Windham. We
Of the
love
Four
Doom
Horsemen.
over here, by the way.
We are big Doomers.
So this ended in a draw.
It was originally scheduled as Arn and Flair, but Flair was replaced due to injury. I hope Flair's okay.
I hope he's probably. I heard he'll be out for a while though.
Yeah, he was. They said he'd be out for a while. That's what Jim Ross said. So, or not? Yeah, was it Jim Ross?
I think so.
Yeah, I
You can tell
got
it's
that up
probably
here.
dangerously, man.
Yeah, it was
Whoa.
Jim Ross.
Hey, Flair's out for forever.
Let me find my notes again.
I
This
thought
was-
this match was pretty good.
yeah, lot of blood.
Dude,
For
for
1990?
these last 2 matches are pretty crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun brawl. WCW definitely,
They love them bras.
but they didn't quite know how to do street fights yet. They're definitely
Yeah.
working on it. There was some chair involvement. I liked that. The finish was kind of mistimed, but I gave it 3 1/4.
If you run back this exact match with this exact situation, like in 4 years later,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be so good.
Oh, it'd be insane.
I gave it 3.
Okay, yeah, 3 1/4 is what I ended up with. So
Finally, the final of the Pat O'Connell Roll tournament.
mm-hmm.
The Steiners and the Japanese team.
Yes, Saito Muda. Tiger Hattori refereeing this one. So the Japanese team gets a home referee.
You know they're gonna be. It's right down the middle. It's Tiger
Yeah.
Tori, maybe the best ref on the show.
Best ref of all time.
Couldn't teach Pee Wee Anderson shit though.
Oh yeah. Pee Wee Anderson definitely needed his help. This was a really
This was the match of the night for me.
good, hard hitting match. Not quite match of the night. I gave this 3 3/4.
I gave this 4.
Okay, so you're actually ahead of me on this one.
Yes.
But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was
very
awesome.
good. This is a line where this match is like crafted to be at the lineup. So
Yeah, this is the match specifically put together for Shane to review higher than I do. You know what I mean? It's Mr. Saito and Muto versus the Steiner brothers.
yeah, come on.
Making Scott Steiner do an interview immediately after a match is like making a toddler explain how a car works. He just couldn't get words together.
I'm a bit.
Pat O'Connor.
We miss you.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. USA. He just wasn't all the way there. He was definitely exhausted, but this was a great match. On to our main event.
Sting takes on the mysterious Black Scorpion who found something in the title shot.
Versus with a special referee in a cage. With special referee
Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser, the slowest referee I've ever seen. He could not move. He couldn't even do the arm count fast enough. It was like a 1.
Could you believe that he passed away
2
here in the show?
3. Like that was his count.
He was just slow as hell.
Yeah.
But he was a football player. He played 3 years for the Packers. Became a wrestler.
He was dressed like a sailor for some reason.
I don't.
He was dressed like a Popeye villain to referee
Maybe
this.
he was a Popeye villain.
But this was an incredible match. Sting the Black Scorpion worked here. If there's one thing NWA did well, it was steel cage matches.
Yes,
like they
yes.
knew what they were doing.
That was their bread and
This
butter.
was awesome.
Well, look who's in the match. Sting and the Black Scorpion. We'll get to later.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I would have been such a little Stinger at this time, dude. If I was born in 1980, I would have been such a little Stinger. But I love this Black Scorpion. It's Ric Flair. What?
I thought he was hurt.
Yeah.
I've been lied to by Billionaire Ted one more time.
I liked his weird UFO entrance
I know,
or whatever.
I don't know. What
that was awesome.
I don't know what they were going for there. Also,
and then they get the mask off, and he has a second mask underneath, which is really funny.
His ring attire, his attire is the sparkliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Awesome.
It
I think
rules.
it's the thumbnail for this. I think I put that as
Thank
the thumbnail because
Thank God.
I mean, what else is? I mean, like we've said, these guys are just great.
This goes almost 20 minutes. It rules.
A lot of great throws into the cage.
Yes, I also gave this 4.
Let me find my notes again. I was looking for the thumbnail to make sure that was true. I gave this 4.5. This was my match of the night for sure.
And a little fun fact here. I wanted to check because usually Wikipedia on these older shows will have like the results of the Meltzer polls.
Mm-hmm.
The fans gave the best match to Doom. Doom is tag team match, and 234 out of 447 fans gave it a thumbs up.
Nice. Yeah, I thought this was. I actually don't have the thumbnail made for this yet, so I will make sure that Black Scorpion is the thumbnail.
Please do.
I guess on to our categories.
Let's do best moment. I think easily it was all the blood in the Doom match. For 90, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The Black Scorpion's entrance, maybe too.
I was thinking about that. I think right at the end of the show, the Black Scorpion reveal that it's Ric Flair, I think was pretty good. MVP of the night.
Sting?
I kind of.
I'm
gonna give it to the Steiners.
It's a WCW show. Oh yeah,
they had a pretty great tournament.
What 3 times?
3 times. All their matches were pretty good. I think I'll go with the Steiners. But you're right. Any WCW show this era, it's just by default Sting is the favorite. He's like the like minus 175 or whatever going into it. Heat check. Best. I'm gonna go Norman Smiley.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Short amount of time, best performance. It's Norman Smiley.
He was such an in-ring guy for a long time, and then he did a successful shift to a comedy guy. It's like a better R-Truth.
Yeah. Apex Mountain. Is this the Apex Mountain for the Black Scorpion?
Yes. Is this the Apex for spaceships and wrestling?
I can't think of another example. So probably. Did Chris Statlander ever come out in a spaceship?
Not yet.
Seems like something she would do. I don't know. Was this Luger's Apex? Like roughly NWA US champion, or was it when he won the world title?
It's a world title.
World title.
It's a world title. The Lex Express because W was more popular at the time.
Yeah, probably. I'm just trying to see. I don't know if there's anybody else that. I don't think really anybody
that
that
Canadian team.
Apex.
The
Canadian team. Yeah, it was their Apex. Was this Jack Victory's Apex?
No, it wasn't actually.
Was this the Apex for people billed from South Africa that are actually from New Jersey?
This is the Apex of New Jersey in general, dude.
Yeah. Surprise of the show. For me, this goes to the Doom Horseman. Just how bloody and hardcore. I mean, really just... I think I'll give it to both those matches, the U.S. title as well. Just how hardcore and hard-hitting those were really surprised me.
Well, Stance is never going to be not hard-hitting. Dude couldn't see. But, yeah, I'd agree.
Recasting Do you want to recast the tournament final
Let's do
or the main event?
Let's do Luger Hansen. I think we get interesting there.
Okay. Well, Stan Hansen, it's one called Manders, dude.
Yes, clearly.
Clearly one called Manders. Who is the current Luger?
Body guy. Still pretty good in the ring.
Yep, big baby face.
Big baby face. Good heel, though.
Good heel. Body guy. I don't know. Who are like our current body guys?
McIntyre's pretty big.
Okay.
Like
big one.
Big jacked
But just
dudes.
big jacked dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of think of body guy as kind of a demonstrative term, like somebody who's just jacked, like can't wrestle. I don't think Luger was that. That's just my connotation
On the
for
body
that
guy
usually.
scale of like Brockus to like Luger, he's
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs is pretty jacked.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked. He's
I
stick
liked
out in the
him.
ring. He's a good heel, good face. So I like that.
Yeah.
Also, what a match that would be.
Hobbs and Manders, dude. Come on, Tony. Give it to me. Give it to me, Tony. What is Collision for, dude?
What is Ring of Honor for, if not that?
Oh, yeah. What is 0 Hour for, if not Manders, Powerhouse Hobbs? Let's see. We did recap. Best double feature. Do you have like a Muda thing for like the tag final maybe, or I mean literally any Sting Flair match?
you just about Sting and Flair for a second. I got it.
I don't really know. I can't remember off the top of my head like which, because Sting and Flair had so many great matches together. I don't know which one is like considered their best match. Let me see if I can find. If Cage Match will load, I can probably find a good one. Oh, the Thunderdome was a great one. We love that. That's them teaming together the year before this. All right, go ahead. What do you got for Muda?
New Japan, December 14th, 92.
Okay.
Great Muda versus Hiroshi Hase, where Hase gets so goddamn bloody they name a scale after it.
Oh yeah.
The Muda scale match.
Yeah. Okay. That would be a good one. Flair Sting, I remember it's Clash of the Champions 1 is like the like perfect Sting Flair match. That was 2 years before this. So yeah, that one with this would be perfect. Let's see, we did so now we're on to our classic hot dog, classic or anything going to the Wrestling Criterion Collection here?
I don't think so.
Yeah, if we had an entrance specific Criterion Collection, the Black Scorpion entrance would make it.
Easily.
So then, classic hot dog, classic handshake. I remember we didn't really pick this for any particular match or moment. So we could pick the main event, and I'm going to pick the main event.
Fair.
I'm going Sting Black Scorpion.
Doom match.
Doom and one of us has to. Pick
I love Doom, man.
Yeah, dude, you love Doom. I love Sting. It's definitely our guys. What would we rate this out of 10?
A lot of the show sucked.
Some pretty awesome stuff,
Very
though.
good stuff on
Some
the show.
really awesome stuff on this show, too.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I also gave it a 5, ultimately.
Okay.
I wanted to go a little higher, but I was like, I can't give this. Honestly, reviewing this, I can't give it more than a 5. So even though for my entertainment value, I had an incredible night watching this. I really enjoyed it.
Entertainment style, I would say it's an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. Like, I have fun watching it. Those matches suck.
Yeah. Ultimately, yeah. You have a great time, and you get to the end of the match, and you're like, man, that was kind of a 2.5. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like so. At least it rated higher than Extreme Rules did last week.
Well, I would agree. Like, at least Extreme Rules, it's not fun.
Yeah, it wasn't as fun. So, I would say preview what we have next week, but we don't know yet.
We got a fucking wheel spin.
So if you don't know, every once in a while when we don't have something to do, we do a wheel spin. This time though, we're doing a wheel spin specifically because this episode will mark about a year since we started doing the podcast again. So, with that, let me get my screen recording going. We are going to spin a wheel with a bunch of shows that we, that we wanted to do.
I will say, we need to change the wheel once a year, actually.
Why do we need to change the wheel?
I cannot find at the ET show.
Whatever. If it lands on it, we can take it off. But go ahead and do the honor, Shane.
Here we go.
So the wheel is spinning. There's a ton of shows from a ton of different companies on here.
A
lot of FMW anniversary shows. And we're going back to WCW.
You gotta be kidding me.
World War III, 1997. We have in the past done the pay-per-view before and the pay-per-view after this.
Finishing the saga.
So we're finishing the trilogy in the incorrect order.
In the best order, actually.
World War III, 1997 is where we're
Oh
going.
man, okay.
That's interesting. Definitely, we'll put that in. Shane, you can take us out.
All right, so stay tuned for 3 Ring Madness next week, and as always, enjoy wrestling.